Hey guys, got a lot of good feedback from that video where we was talking about incubators and how they can kind of be the downfall or at least start, things spiraling downward for your business or just for your hobby. It doesn't matter either way. We've spoken with several people where people have kind of like packed it up and closed their doors due to, this type of a mishap happening. And we kind of went into the details on why we were thinking the way we were thinking. And again, trying to bring you guys along the way with us, just in case maybe you've been doing it longer than we have. Maybe you haven't. Maybe you're just interested in breeding, one or two snakes. It doesn't really matter whether you're on the breeder level or a hobbyist level, but these things can happen to you just like they can happen to us. And we want to put the information out there so everyone is aware that these things are happening, and hopefully you can kind of navigate around that without it having to happen to you. So let's get into this video. Hey guys, what's going on? Will here, Flawless Exotic Creations, coming to you guys with another video. And this video is going to be an incubator build video. It's going to be in, different sessions here and there, different days, I'm sure. But I figured I would jump up here and at least do the intro for the video because we kind of got a first few clips already. We've been looking for not even a week, about 3 days. And we found the incubator we want to kind of base it around and do our build. So we've already acquired it. We have that piece. Now we have to go online and start ordering little bits and pieces of things that's going to be on our ingredients list, parts list for our build. Let's slow it down just a little bit. Hopefully you are enjoying this channel. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that notification bell. We love having your viewership here. To answer a few questions, again, this is from one extreme to the next. We get that completely. We already have a fully functional incubator. We went over that and our reasoning behind doing an incubator build. We think it's kind of going to be fun. We hope. We hope it's going to be functional. We hope it's not a complete waste of money and we have to scrap it and throw it all away and go and buy another incubator. We doubt it. We're hopefully using good judgment in the piece we're kind of starting from. It was already functional, so that's kind of a really, really good sign. And it was $85. I mean, literally $85 for a working cooler. Audra really wanted to keep it. She really, really wanted to keep it. Also, to answer any questions, there are other ways to do this to kind of alleviate any worry against incubator failure. We could have bought a used DIY. We could have bought a used sea serpents. We could have bought Mike Wilbanks. We kind of went into that a little bit as well as why we don't use that for the ball python side. So that's pretty much how we landed at this point in this plan, and we, we're content creators, hopefully for you guys. So we definitely going to want you to hit that join button, join the membership here on YouTube. We got 2 tiers there. We're going to be doing some giveaways and some membership lives really, really soon. Hopefully we can have you there. Hey, who knows? You may win something. It's really, really cool. But you're here. We figured this content will be cool, put it all in one video, the complete build from beginning to end. We're just gonna get started into this process. I already kind of started dismantling things inside the cooler already. We've already taken down the shroud and everything for the fan. We looked around, we saw a lot of informative videos. I watched a ton of videos on kind of transitioning and transforming this cooler into an awesome incubator. And we're doing it on a budget as well, so it's kind of cool. We're going to walk you through exactly everything that we're going to be doing and hopefully get in detail a whole layout for you guys to be able to do it as well for yourselves. We're going to kind of go through and pull some more tubing and things out And hopefully I got all the tools and things that I need to embark on this journey. So let's take a look at some of it over here. All right, so over here what we have is a plethora of tools, cutters, obviously regular run-of-the-mill tools, but we're gonna open up some of the stuff we had to do special order. So we're running, actually I'll show you guys the fan first. So this is the fan we opted to go with, and it's a 120 millimeter fan. So you can see the part numbers and everything on it. And it also comes with a 2-pin connection that they actually don't give you the connector with. So you gotta kind of seek it out on your own. So that's that. Hopefully you got the part number in there in case you're gonna be doing the same exact thing. Now, the wire that's associated with the fan is going to be here. So I'll let you guys check out the part number there. This is also comes with a speed control. All right, so this is how that looks. All right, so you can set it on medium, low, or high. All right, with the speed control. So we're going to hardwire all this in. And now, in order to cut an exact 120 millimeter hole, I did not have a hole saw or a hole saw bit for that, so I had to order one, which was not very expensive. I believe it was under 10 bucks. It came yesterday. It's kind of cool because if you're like me, I tend to misplace and throw tools everywhere, especially when I'm done with big jobs, and it came with its own little case. So that's kind of cool. I put everything back in when I'm done. So that is the size of the hole that we're going to cut. Now, the only thing that we're missing that we're going to use this on is going to be our false wall. It actually was supposed to have been delivered a couple hours ago, but it still says out for delivery today. So that's the only piece of the ingredients we're missing right now. All right, also with the false wall, we have interlocks. Now, there's a combination of adhesives we're going to be using. Obviously, this is going to be strong but temporary. We're also going to be using a water-based JB Weld. We want the water-based because it said it was going to be strong, so we want it ultra strong, and it's going to be waterproof, so it should be able to deal with the high humidity inside the incubator. And what we're going to use this on is we have PVC stripping, PVC molding that I'm going to cut for the false wall. I'm going to JB Weld the PVC molding to the false wall, creating a gap in the back of the incubator, and then to the strips we're going to use the interlocks all up and down the strips on both sides to be able to adhere as well as remove whenever we need to for wiring issues or any type of maintenance issues or whatever. We could remove it without taking everything apart. So those are the two things we're going to utilize there. Any additional holes or anything we plug into this incubator or existing holes, we're going to plug up with some nice silicone, some clear silicone. We also have some spray foam if we need that. And here's another important piece of the build that arrived yesterday as well. All right, there's the billing paperwork and all of that. So with that, we have the heat tape. And with the heat tape, it came pre-wired. All right, and it's the 21-inch heat tape. So now that we walked you through kind of the game plan of what we're gonna do, it's time to kind of dig in. All right, now that we're in here, this actually was really clean. It was actually functional and working, and we ended up tearing it apart for our own needs. So what are we going to do from here? We're going to continue to break this bad boy down. All right, now this seems to have some type of rivets and adhesive. All right, that's out. Okay, and then that comes through that way. Okay, and that was like a drainage hole. All right, so with this, we're actually gonna use some 10 snips and cut about 1 inch off the rear. All right, had to figure out the technique, and with these curved 10 snips, had to actually do it reverse and run it down to get a straight edge. Started burrowing the edge over so it doesn't cut you as much, isn't as sharp. Plus we won't be in contact with this edge at all. This edge, the reason we cut off an inch is because it was going all the way to the back wall of the cooler. And when we run our false wall is going to come all the way up and butt up to this. So this is the inside, the coil and everything. I'm gonna leave the coil inside, but as you see, these wires and coolant line, they run down behind this shroud all the way down. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take these nuts out, remove the shroud, probably cut those lines and pull them out of there, and hopefully try to use the entry and exit holes down through the bottom of the cooler to bring in my wires. See down at the bottom, but they got the silicone where it comes through. That's where you're gonna pull it out. There it is, the part I'm looking for. All right, so the flex watt already has the ends terminated on it already, which is awesome. I'm trying to get to this piece over here, ouch, which will help me if I can get to it. And basically, I wanted the wire terminated already and connect it to the flex watt, because I'm going to splice the cables and make a electrical connection after I run the wire. This is just one way to do it. All right, so the wire I believe is 6 feet long. So I'm going to measure it down and snip it. So with the 21-inch wide flex watt, we ordered 6 feet and probably ordered 1 foot too much, which is fine. I would rather have too much than not enough. So ended up cutting off right at about, I guess, maybe 16 inches. So we cut on the clear, on the cloudy line, not the black. And now we want to make sure that we tape off, according to the internet, the gold. That is gold, right, 80? I'm colorblind, guys.
Oh, copper.
Copper. Oh, listen to you. Oh, okay. My school dollars are paying off. So make sure we cover the copper with electrical tape. So on these flex watt tape or heat tape, the black area is actually what heats up. It's what conducts the heat. So I'm just smoothing it over so I don't get any plastic cuts. I'm sure they would hurt a lot. So back here, there's a tube that runs down the back wall. I've already cut it. This was the drain tube. I filled it with silicone because it was a nightmare to try to pull out. I've already cut it underneath the unit, so we won't have any issues with that. Again, I've pushed a ton of silicone down it. There's no air or anything getting through, and now I'm gonna proceed to layer my flex watt over top of that. So again, guys, all I'm doing, or making an attempt to do, is secure my flex watt to the rear panel, the rear wall. I guess it wouldn't be a panel. Nothing really super neat, even though my OCD is kicking in. with this being kind of off, but we're gonna run it all the way down. Didn't want to go through the hassle of kind of disconnecting all of that. I guess I could have, but it's not that big of a deal. It's not detrimental. All the lights and the fan and all the lights and everything were working before tearing this thing apart. Actually, it was just low on Freon, so we absolutely caught a deal. Wish I would have. Actually, Audrey even mentioned when we looked these things up, this thing was clean and everything inside and brand spanking new. They wanted like $1,500 for this unit. But like, good grief. I was just like, we should have just kept it and found another one. She's already got plans for a she shed when we get the new property and build the new facility. So Vault 2.0. All right, guys, so we're coming to the conclusion of this process, and with the flex watt, hold on, I want to make sure I still got my seal down there. With the flex watt, originally we had planned to come out the flex watt wires out of the top along the back wall and down the conduit, but I chose the wrong selection when I ordered the flex watt, and I believe it's the almost 6 feet of cord, and that's not enough cord. I should have selected the 9-foot cord, so I had to throw an audible in there, which is fine, and run the cord out the bottom. Some people are wondering why run flex watt on the bottom and the back wall. It's kind of overkill, yes, but we're gonna line the bottom with water bottles to keep the heat consistently inside when you open and close it, and that's just kind of the plan for everything, I guess. So we're gonna finish securing this here, run this cord around, snip the tip, run it through, run the fan wire where it needs to go, and be done with it. All right, I'm gonna snip the plug off. Now with this end, we'll come over here to the hole and push it through so that it goes out the bottom. And want to save enough cord inside to make it nice and neat, and then I'll silicone that cord in place and seal off that hole. It's here, it's here. The false wall is here. Nice, nice, nice. Cool. All right, time to make sure we got the proper connections and cords, hopefully. So it looks like this is going to work, but we're going to have to do some more modifications on the bottom of the unit and extend the cord to connect into the existing fan. Cool. All right, this board that we ordered off of eBay was really reasonably priced, and it's exactly what we needed. Didn't need something too strong, just a little rigid, and it's 1/4 inch thick, so it's perfect. Jeez, battling with it. Come on. Cool. Wow. So scratch it up. So it's actually a really shiny finish. So this board here Was really, really inexpensive, but it's plenty strong for what we need it for. So it is exactly 24 by 48 inches, and after measuring now, I need it to be 40 inches. All right, so now we're at this stage now where we're going to start really working on this false wall. Before we drill a hole for the fan on this false wall though, we want to kind of attach the spacers. So the spacer is basically going to be a PVC molding that's about an inch and change thick, or an inch and change wide, about a quarter of an inch thick. And we're going to adhere that with this here JB weld. So this should be good. I'm gonna have to mix it up. I never really used this one specifically, so we're gonna see how it works. So this is that spacer molding that I told you that we ended up going to go get. It's all PVC. I believe it's a 8-foot run of it, so I'm going to need approximately 2 40-inch pieces. Okay, so this stuff told me to put gloves on, so I'm going to do that, even though I tend to ignore the safety side of things, which I should not. So it says remove required amount of putty, where gloves sterilely need putty into fingers to form to a uniform color. Press. I guess I'll try to start with like maybe 6. See how far this gets me. Jeez. All right, so I had to abandon ship once again and back up in point. Never mind on the punt, we call it audible. So that piece, the shank was way too big for this drill, and all my other tools are underneath in a very big tote. So we're gonna rock out this way. I've already marked the center spot. All right, cut it through and through. Like I said before, this stuff is super tough and durable. But gonna clean this up and finish it up. All right guys, so far I've made the little alterations to all the pre-existing pieces. Down in the bottom over here, I already I was gonna say caulk, but I siliconed it where I pushed the wire through the existing hole to make sure we seal off the internal chamber of the incubator. All right, so we got our speed controller wire for our fan that we're adding. That's all ready to kind of roll. We also have, I got my wire, so this plug is actually going to be clipped. And off we go. Okay. So for everyone, actually a long time ago, I used to work in telecommunications, and we did so much work with wire. So I have a ton of wire. Plus I work with a lot of car audio and video in my younger days. So if you're interested in how to splice together wires in one of the several correct ways, we have to roll the wire here. You want a nice sharp edge to kind of start with. So you have the edge there. You spread your wires open so you're there. Then one of the ways you're going to make your connections is going to be here, where you're going to be able to easily splice together your wires and make your connections. We have several of these. What these are really cool because it doesn't matter if you have solid copper wire or stranded copper wire, they'll work. So from there, so right here we're finishing up here. Cut the hole, we cut a little bigger because of the little issue we were having, but it actually works out because of the way I want to run my wires. So here is going to be the speed control of this auxiliary fan, and we mounting this down in the bottom, and we already fished the wires through and the plugs for the fan and made our connections. So all the wires will be hitting behind and the back, so you won't be able to really see it. And we can just reach down there and turn this to low, medium, high, control the speed, and make any adjustments after we're already all put back together. So buttoning this fan shroud up and putting all the screws back in. All right, so here we're gonna flip it over. This is where we're gonna mount the interlock strips, really strong, like one-sided Velcro that interlocks together. Gonna do a little bit of wire management here, which is not a problem. I just don't want it hanging down. All right, here I already tightened down the screws and everything for the fan. The fan is mounted, already ready to rock and roll. Everything is wired up. This is going to be the false wall. So with the interlocks, how are they different than Velcro is they look, both sides look identical, and the easiest way to do with this one is going to be, I guess I could have kind of saved funds and cut them up. Probably not going to need to use all of them, honestly. It's kind of a little overkill, but you squeeze them together so they're locked together, and then you pull your one side and you will hear it. It's a great 3M product, and you just rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. Adding the last little bells and whistles. Everything is mounted. Just went ahead and kind of just used all of it, all the 3M interlocks or Scotch. I don't know, I believe it's the same company. Now I'm pulling the backers, because literally about to put it in. Now I'm gonna try to get this false wall in here by myself since my son is useless. Right, 80? Hey guys, pick on your kids while you can. Okay, so mock it up. Oh man, it's leg day. Getting old. Oh, you laugh at that, huh? Here we go, we all lit up. Lights, all the lights are working. Fans are working, fan just kicking on now. It's moving down bottom because the other fan is asking for air, but it's set on off. Now that's on low. So we can set it to low, medium, and high, or off altogether. And that's the false wall. Maybe we'll get a logo and put it on there. So here we're gonna catch a little daylight where we can. Actually reusing one of these wires. All right, and we're gonna splice like we did earlier for the flex watt. The flex watt here comes out, and then it will go into our thermostat, which will be an Inkbird. We love our Inkbirds. These kind of butt up together. Ouch. There we go. So I'll strip these down and get these all connected up. And here's the finished product, all spliced together. ready for our thermostat. All right, guys, so we got it in and in position. It's kind of all set up. We're about to put the wire racks in. They're pretty heavy too. The bottom, I don't know if you can see it in frame, it's still open. It's been pretty much gutted. That's where all the electrical and wires come out at the bottom. Everything's been siliconed up. That bottom piece, we do have it. I'm actually going to spray that down actually next before calling it a night, and we're probably not even going to test it just yet. So this isn't the conclusion of the video just yet, so be back at it. All right, so this is the part where we finish it up on the bottom piece. Had a little bit of flat black spray paint, just kind of pretty it up a little bit. I don't really care about any of the paint really. It's a backup piece, but you still want it to look nice. All right, well, I don't want it to run, so I think that'll be about it. So guys, it's a few days later, different outfits and everything. Been rocking and rolling on this piece. We wanted to get this little shot in, this clip in before closing the video out. It's already late today, so not sure if we're gonna close it out tonight or tomorrow. But we've been working really hard. I'll go as far as to say this unit is about 99.5% done. It's ready to rock and roll. It's really 100%. There's some little things or one specific thing we want to do, but we have to customize it. We want to get one of those. Oh, before I get there, that HDPE board, we love it. It's literally super shiny, glossy, really nice finish, which is that false wall you see in the back that we had put in there. We're going to either get a cling, a big old 24-inch cling, or a big 24-inch flawless sticker. They're not too horribly expensive, and get them custom and put it in the back. So it'll be cool when you have the lights on in there. You know, you can look back and, you know, it's all white on the inside. So you'll see the flawless and the black, red and white with the diamond. It'll be cool. Again, we went into this project literally not intending on using this. In a perfect world, we won't have to use this. This is days later because we actually took, as you probably see on the screen, we have a smart facility here. We control the humidity, the temperature. You guys have heard this several times. We have Wi-Fi Govies in the main incubator over there. The sea serpents has been extremely dependable. We're going to continue to use it. Again, this whole process was for us to have a backup. Our backup is now bigger than our primary. So we'll see how that works out in the years to come. That incubator is pretty much almost full, but the way our clutches come out, by the time a clutch comes out, we'll have another one kind of sliding back in this place. And we've been rocking out with the Orbeez over there, which is awesome. The lights on in here, all the LED. When I say this true commercial refrigerator was literally in working condition, it really was. I'm gonna kind of finagle my way from my man cave to get me another one. That'd be kind of cool. Kind of bare fridge, leftover food. Be cool to kind of have it right there. So the kids, the boys, they don't eat us out of house at home. But just so you guys know, for us, all the lights, everything in it worked. The fans work, everything works. The fans are still working. Our ideal of putting a fan at the bottom has been magnificent, has been flawless. We had the probe in there from an extra thermostat. We have like 10 extra thermostats here. That thermostat will stay on here. We configured it and set it up where you don't see the display up here. We actually, since we removed everything from underneath and repainted the cover, we actually house our thermostat underneath. So all the wires is literally underneath. You don't have to see it. Some would say, oh, well, you want to kind of see it, the monitor, but we actually have the Inkbird app, and all of our thermostats are Wi-Fi. So no matter where we are in the world, we can monitor, we can see the temperature, we can see the variance, we can see the history, everything, the whole 9 yards. And it alerts our phone via message or email if your temperature or your humidity goes outside of your preset windows. So we love Inkbird here. So when we do have to run this, if we have to run it, we're actually going to shut all the lights off. They're not needed. They're legitimately came with it, so it was cool and it looked cool for the video. But when we have to run this, we won't be running the lights. So temperature wise, yes, we don't have any clutches in here, so it is really not a true test, but it meets our needs. This is strictly a backup. So it's been 3 days and we've consistently held 90.0 all the way down to 88.9. So there's a 1 degree variant literally from the bottom all the way up to the top. Right now I'll say, is it worth our while to really do this? I say yes. Very inexpensive in my opinion. We've built a very top tier incubator. And we wanted to make sure that you guys seen it working and running.